This is your daily briefing and you're most welcome to it, of course. Tongi Dombele, we've got a little bit of gossip on him, and that comes from Alasdair Gold, so we'll kick off with him before we give him a gentle kicking to boot. Mr. Gold understands that the sports science staff believe the Frenchman has been in the best condition of his Spurs career in recent weeks, which will help during this boot camp of sorts at Hotspur Way. We've heard it all before, haven't we? We've heard it all before. What Mr. Gold gets from the press office is no more than wishful thinking. In another era, an unkind person would refer to it as propaganda. He's also hearing Spurs will look to make adjustments where necessary in the January transfer window once Antonio Conte has fully assessed his squad and worked with them. I feel your pain to a certain degree. There is an onus upon certain people to put content out. I don't have it, but then that's the way I work. Looking to make adjustments. We know the adjustments that are required, and I think we're through the whole thing of, what would you do then, wise guy, which we went through a few years ago. And there's a lot of deadwood that needs to go, a lot of people, a lot of bodies on the floor that cannot and will not be resuscitated under any coach and any system, and just need to be gently eased out of the frame. But I suppose we're getting there. The sports science staff believe, but I'm trying not to be really, aggressive here, but this is just infuriating to even have to suffer this. Hotspur Way was calm, you told us. That was 24 hours before Poch was fired, and a new manager in a matter of days, you told us, and it took over 70 days. It's because you should preface everything with I have been instructed, I have been told by the press office, because you're not hearing anything. And you know what repeats without thinking? A burp. So just report the press office told me and you'll look far less of a cabbage, I promise you. And don't forget, listen, I love ITK, I love gossip, I love rumour, they're spice of life. It's far more interesting than, and Harry Winks told the official website today that he couldn't find his socks. All the good stuff is the dirt under the fingernails. And remember the words of Hans Lander, you remember from Inglourious Bastards? I love rumours. Facts can be so misleading. Where rumours, true or false, are often revealing. An old handsy boy had it right. One of our own, Harry Kane, scored his second hat-trick of the season. He's back. He's back against Albania. Bloody Albania. The first was against Slovenian giants Mura, and that was in the European Conference League. My take on the Harry Kane situation, it's a thing that troubles me day and night, so I've thought it through. I think we need to make him somebody else's problem. All he needs is service. Fantastic. Then stick him into the Grosvenor, get him a suite in the Grosvenor. So instead of, you see, the trouble is, if we keep him, and I'm not against a fairy tale scenario where we keep him at his best and we all stand there in a regimented line to use that's wonderful, halcyon days, but I don't think we're ever going to get back to that. And look at the time, look how old he is, look at the miles on the clock. But all we're doing is we're going around in circles, and instead of solving the problem, but all he needs is service, we actually just drag the problem and we reposition it and we put it into a hall of mirrors. And so we end up with, it's Delhi. If we get Tongi firing, if we could sell Winks, why doesn't Moore score more goals? Where are his assists? And it just dissolves the actual core problem. Get rid of him, cash him in, reinvest the money. And therein lies another argument entirely. Romero had a great game against Uruguay with some frankly incredible numbers. And listen, this is something, hopefully this is a rising balloon, maybe. We could hold on to the string and go with it. Whereas the Kane thing, I just think 3 goals against Albania. But yeah, Romero, 90% of his ground duels he won, 100% of his air duels, and 12 interceptions. There was some other stuff as well. It was just good all round. ESPN, dear me, 9:30 this morning they put this out. No, didn't let the grass grow. Manchester City will reportedly test the waters for Harry Kane again in January and hope the Tottenham chairman Daniel Levy will lower his 150 million asking price, which I think is actually just a piece of media invention. Premier League champions tried to lure Kane to the Etihad in the summer, but wouldn't meet Spurs' demands for the England captain. I think it's more of a question of the fact that Daniel Levy wouldn't pick up his telephone. Trophyless Kane, blah, blah, blah. Move failed to materialise, blah, blah, blah. And this is what I'm far more interested in, and it's not because it's the miserable bit, it's because it's the common sense bit. So instead of a hat-trick against Albania, we've got Kane has just one league goal so far this season for Spurs, and already been a change of manager due to the club's poor form. A lot of it is down to the manager, a lot of it is down to the club, a lot of it is down to a myriad of circumstances, but that's what I'm saying. Let's isolate the thing itself and not get dragged in a hall of mirrors where suddenly it's all getting dissolved and dissipated and we go, oh, well, if this could happen and that. Just move him on, let him free like a dove. Right, that's your lot for the moment. There is very little about Denmark played, but obviously Højbjerg was a bit crook, so that didn't happen. And I'll keep my eye out and see if there's any more, but don't hold your breath. Good luck, and as ever, keep it on.